It's my pleasure and honor to welcome y'all to the STA Business Breakfast. I hope you're enjoying your stay. If you are not, there are some seminars on the beach, the golf course, and the bingo room this afternoon. You can attend those and find out how to better enjoy yourself. Before we get started, I'd like to bow here to return grace. Some people haven't finished eating, some have, but I think that would be appropriate this time, if you will. Dear Heavenly Father, bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. Watch over and protect us as we travel to and from the STA events. Help us be good stewards with the STA monies and resources and personnel to do a good job for the STA and the industry. These things we ask in thy name. Amen. With that, as you enjoy your breakfast, sponsors are a big part of what we do, whether it's the activities after, breakfast, sessions, speakers, the whole 9 yards. And with that, I'd like to recognize the breakfast sponsors: American Truthful Inc., Atkins Machinery, Fiber Quest, Glen Custom Fabrics, ITG, Atina, American Incorporated, Lang Living and Company Incorporated, Lee Fibers Incorporated, Picking All of America, Staff Masters, and Unified Manufacturing Incorporated. If y'all will, help me say that. If you look too, you'll see people that have ribbons on their name tags, and they say sponsors and all. Thank you for what they do also. So let's try and make it personal. I think that was one of the comments yesterday, that as we do this and new people come in and all, we need to make sure that we embrace everybody and welcome, greet old friends and welcome new folks, and that's part of it doing it individually. So with that, I may not get this exactly right. I tend to strive to be generally correct rather than specifically wrong. This one I have a chance to be specifically wrong. If there's an opportunity, you can help me. But these are new members that we need to welcome. So what I'm going to do is run down a list of folks, and these people may be here or not. If you are, you can raise your hand, and that way it'll help people recognize newer members. The Bright Brothers, James Griffith, Henderson Machinery and Company, Incorporated, Sean Burke, Atima America, Mark Lingerfeld, Lee Fibers Incorporated, Tony Bureau, MB Business Capital, Stephen Jansen, Merman, Eric Gourmet, PA USA, Trey Stabber, Palmetto Loom Reed Company, Bill Silchek, Boca Inc., LKA Inc., Robbie Moore, Reader America, Rick Barton, Reader America, Thomas Henry, Sage Automotive Interiors, Brian Moore, Shooter Yarns, Travis McQueen, Shooter Yarns, Grant Smith, Springs Creative Products Group, Deborah Haas, William Goodyear Company, Craig Sailors. So with that, as we do, we kind of roll through that, but again, let's welcome these new members. Last moment thing really came up, and we've got new members, and we have people retire, and things happen in life. And George Pruitt was registered to be here, and he had been a long time member, did a lot within this family. And George passed away, so I didn't want to pass that on and let everybody know. And a lot of times an announcement will go out where people want to sing condolences or whatever. That will follow. So with that. Also, people that have been actively involved in the organization in years past, our past presidents, there are a number of them here, and as that, we'd like to recognize them also, and this would be in the order that they serve. So we've got a list of names here. George Abbott, if y'all would stand, maybe, this group has given a lot to the organization. Randy Blackston, George Emmett Mills, Randy Blackston Custom Fabrics, Glen Raven, Justin Bowman, Mount Vernon Mills, Jim Woodball, National Spinning Incorporated, Brad Burnett, Inman Mills, Ed Thomas, ITG, Eddie Gates, Greenwood Mills, Mitch Hensley, RSM Company, we'll call it that. Doyle Kidd, Greenwood Mills, he's retired. Russell Mills, Bureau, Yarns. Lisa Ariel, Hayden, Glen Raven, and Jay Silk, and Greenwood Mills. If you will, please. Eddie Gator to the podium. Eddie served as president of STA from 1989 to 1990, and as chairman from 1990 to 1991. All of us here today would like to thank you for your years of service to the STA and wish you and Catherine many years of good health, Godspeed, and thank you for what you did with the organization all the years. The David Clark Award named for the founder of the STA honors past presidents of the association who continue to contribute distinguished leadership and services to the association through the textile industry for 10 or more years following their term as president. It is my pleasure to call on Jim Budaball, STA past president and president of the National Spinning Company, to present the David Clark Award to George Abbott. George is Vice President of Manufacturing for Inman Mills, and I'm sure that we will have some good comments.
Good morning. As Todd mentioned, this year's recipient of the David Clark Award goes to George Abbott, and that's voted on by the Board of Governors, and that had to be one of the easiest votes that the Board of Governors has ever had, when it said George Abbott is due to and is eligible for the David Clark Award. As I think back over the past 20 plus years that I've been associated with STA, I would put George right at the top of the list of people who displayed passion for this organization and for the textile industry. When George was president 10 years ago, the association was struggling. We had dropped over 200 people in membership, and we're at the all-time low, and we were really evaluating whether the organization was going to survive. And so George did two things at that time. First thing he did was he called a strategy session. And this was led by Dean Bob Barnhart of NC State. And it brought in the Board of Governors to reflect, for us to reflect on how STA was performing. And we looked at what we were doing well and what we needed to change to bring more value to the people in this industry. From that session, we did some consolidations, we revamped some programs, and we established some new programs that have been widely successful. And today, as a result of that, we're getting tremendous attendance at our programs, thanks to that work that was done 10 years ago under the leadership of George. Second, he challenged everybody to go out and find a new member. He said, if each of us, and he got it down to the individual level, he said, babe, let me tell you something. If each of you can go out and find 5 people that are in this industry that you do business with that aren't associated with STA, then our membership's going to grow. He said, how hard is that to go find 5 people? And so at the end, we were all fired up and convinced that we could go out and make it happen. And guess what? We did it. George has mentored many of the leaders within this organization, and he always displays a positive attitude. In fact, we always know how George is doing. When you ask George how he's doing, the response will be on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Terrific! Right. So, George is a great friend and a great leader, and I'm honored to present the David Clark Award to George Abbott.
Thank you, Jim, for that very special remark that you made. You know, talking about membership, I don't know if anybody much remembers this, but Jim was chairman of the membership committee. He only got 101 new members. That he did, but it was Anyway, I really appreciate it. I'd also like to thank the Board of Governors for my appreciation for being able to recognize me with this award. I'm a little overwhelmed right now, okay? So when I'm talking, I don't know what I'm saying. But I do want to make a couple comments. I have been so blessed to work in an industry that I totally love for 54 years. And looking at our industry today, and our company today, I'm so excited about it. We have so many more opportunities. I know it's changed, a lot of change going on. We're real ready to face that change. There's one thing, word you'll never hear in this group, and that's the challenges. We don't talk about challenges. We talk about opportunities. The second great lesson that I've had is to have the honor to be able to be a member of the STA family for the last 28 years. I love this organization, just like you do. We are something special. We not only offer these special things to our members, but we offer it to our members. I'm excited about our mission. I'm excited about STA. I said at the board meeting yesterday, I heard comments, ideas thrown around how we have the opportunities to grow our organization. We're going through a lot of change. You know, it's fast moving, take a lot of demographics. Bring in new people. That's an opportunity. And it was so refreshing to hear different members stand up, talk about ideas, committees already being set up, that we can face those opportunities. And leaving, I really appreciate all the friendship that we've had. I love this organization just like you. I look forward to seeing it grow. Not only grow in numbers, but grow in spirit. Be a blessing to all our lives, as well as to our industry. Thank you so much.
I would be remiss if I missed the name earlier, and it would be, so you get special recognition, Larry Oates, former president. Larry, if you would please stand. It's only a mistake if you continue it. With that, thank you for those words. And when you look at that and think about it, I had some comments I want to make about technology in the future and so forth. George did it for me. So I'd like to be more like George. So evidently, I'm working for it. So those comments are very appropriate when we look at where we are, where we're going. And I smile and joke with George about, to me, he is the perfect ambassador for STA. And George is probably, any entity he's involved with, George is probably the perfect ambassador because he is probably one of the most positive people that I've ever met. And just gracious and kind. So we appreciate what you've done. With that, I would like to thank y'all for the opportunity and honor to serve this organization for the past year. And ask Mike Kingsmore to come up now and take the hill.
great weekend we've got scheduled in Hilton Head, and I couldn't be happier to be here this morning. My plans got thrown off a little bit. Basically my talk today was going to be a tribute and honor to my father, Kingsmore. My mother and father couldn't attend this year due to technology. My daughter has him on Facebook. So you will hear these remarks. But before I get started, I would like to thank my family. I've got my son Tyler, and daughter-in-law Jamie, my wife, who is my best friend, my son, my biggest supporter, and my daughter Brittany here. So I thank y'all for coming to a special Father's Day surprise for me. Thank y'all for being here. Before I get started in my president's remarks, some people said, why do a tribute to your dad? Well, he is the reason that I've been successful. He's planted a lot of good seeds within me, and I think not only in my textile career, but in my life. So I'll do that in just a couple of minutes. My first call to order is I would like to call Steve Adams and George Abbott to the stage. Come on up, please. I know you guys were expecting
Hey, I'm not
this.
retired.
I told both of you last night I had a little surprise in the store. But these two guys had mentored me from day one in this organization when I came back 11 years ago. I've been a member in the late 80s, early 90s for a few years, and got back involved in I think it's 2005, was Mitch Hensley's first year when he was president. So I've been involved for the last 11 years. These two guys have been very special to me, been special in this organization. And I've got just a couple of tokens of appreciation for what they've done for me. Susie, first off, let me read something before we present them that. Just a second. For those that may be familiar with this is something we had to learn in school in my old frat essay at Clemson. And it's called The True Gentleman. The true gentleman is a man whose conduct proceeds from goodwill and an acute sense of propriety, whose self-control is equal to all emergencies. It does not make the poor man conscious of his poverty, the obscure man of his obscurity, or any man of his inferiority or deformity, who is himself humble if necessity compels him to humble another. He does not flatter wealth, cringe before power, or boast of his own possessions or achievements, who speaks well, who speaks with frankness but always with sincerity and sympathy, whose deed follows his word, and who thinks of the rights and feelings of others rather than his own, and who appears well in any company, a man with whom honor is sacred and virtue so. I think that best says it about this book. Steve, thank you, and I just have a small token of appreciation for you. I hope you'll enjoy it. Have to partake tonight or when you get back home. But it is a national championship bottle of champagne, like that way, for 2016 champion Clemson. George, Steve would probably have rather had this than you. I heard from George from day one that I got into the leadership of STA that he was going to stick around until my presidency. I told him he might be sticking around far past me because with Palmetto finishing, we've kind of had our obituary written 2 or 3 times in the last 5 or 6 years, but we found a way to survive. But I found out the true reason. I wasn't aware that he would be in line for the David Clark Award at the same time that I became president. So we all know, George, why you stuck around to me, and a well-deserved award for that. But for a small token of appreciation, in our interview with Coach Sweeney about a month ago, he signed a national championship football. It says, "George, all in, George, go Tigers." And everybody knows George was an Alabama fan. He is an NC State grad, but he played a lot of tradition for Alabama for his children to attend. But Dabo told us, when Randy was president and Devin, that, you know, he was at Alabama for 11 years, including his national championship.
Alabama man.
He said, "It's time for you to get off the periphery and get all in with Clemson."
I think he's getting rid of it. I mean, like it's over with. I may have to leave him. I mean, don't have to. But I'll never leave STA family. And I plan to come back as long as I can walk and celebrate with you all along the way to do every year.
In the last speech, open public speech that Dad gave, I think of our divisional meeting about 4 years ago. I know Preston, he was a lot of you in this room were there. Very proud of him for making his last speech to this group. But the main purpose of that speech was defining winners versus losers. He's always been a winner. He's been a winner for a reason. And I think this poem or verses tell it best. And I was going to repeat what he kind of elaborated on that day. Winners versus losers. The winner is always part of the answer. The loser is always part of the problem. The winner always has a program. The loser always has an excuse. The winner says, "Let me do it for you." The loser says, "This is not my job." The winner sees an answer for every problem. The loser sees a problem in every answer. The winner says it may be difficult, but it is possible. The loser says it may be possible, but it's too difficult. When a winner makes a mistake, he says, "I was wrong." The loser says, It may be possible, but it's also too difficult. When a winner makes a mistake, he says, "I was wrong." When a loser makes a mistake, he says, "It was not my fault." A winner makes commitments. A loser makes promises. Winners have dreams. Losers have schemes. Winners say, "I must do something." Losers say, "Something must be done." Winners are part of a team. Losers are apart from the team. Winners see the game. Losers see the pain. Winners see possibilities. Losers see problems. Lastly, winners believe in win-win. Losers believe for them to win, someone else has to lose. I think that's very appropriate. I think it's words of wisdom. If you look back at my dad, you know, the reason I'm doing this is because, like I said earlier, the impact he's had on my life and leadership. And there's a few attributes that led to his successful career in this industry, which lasted over 50 years, from 1958 to 2008. I had a video presentation that I showed at that meeting 3 years ago. It's the Distinguished Service Award. Due to some technical difficulties, we can't show it this morning. So I'll give you a few highlights of his career before I talk about the attributes. One thing I'd like to mention first is my first job in this industry was HR Personnel Director at what is now Mount Vernon Mills in Tryon, Georgia. The plant is still exists and running strong. That was 1982 upon my graduation from Clemson. 20 years prior to that, my dad had the same job in personnel for Textile Corporation in Tryon, Georgia. So 20 years later, I had the same staff. Over half the people on my staff worked with my dad 20 years earlier. His executive secretary, his employment manager, the head of nursing. We had a nursing staff of 3. I had 18 people on my staff and personnel, believe it or not. We had a manufacturing facility about 2,100. When he had it, it was probably about 2,800 employees in Triumph. It was very unique. And, you know, his career, just to highlight it since I don't have the video presentation, was basically started, he started a small company called Textile, I think it was in Hartwell, Georgia, as an assistant personnel manager. If you look at his career, and I'll go through his companies in just a second, is he was cleaning looms at 15 or 16 years old, playing Textile League baseball in Union, South Carolina, or he says Buffalo, he says Union's a suburb of Buffalo. But anyway, that's where his family was raised, and he cleaned looms. He moved into a boarding house at 15 because his father was in textiles, and he moved in with his uncle into a boarding house there and stay in the Union Buffalo area. From there, you know, if you look at his line of progression to the industry, assistant personnel manager, division personnel director, corporate personnel director. Then they told him he thought he knew everything about manufacturing, sitting in all the meetings with Bob Coleman, with Regal and Greenville. They said, Bob said, since you got an answer for everything, I'm going to send you to a hot spot. I'm going to send you to Tryon, Georgia to run manufacturing. So, very unusual course. You don't see many HR personnel people go into manufacturing. That was in 1969 when I returned to Tryon. From there, he ran manufacturing for Regal. Within a few years, he was promoted to vice president of the marketing and sales for the apparel fabrics division stationed in Atlanta. After a year and a half stint, he had marketing, sales, he had personnel, manufacturing, then he became a division president. He spent about 2 years as division president before he was hired by Avondale Mills in Sylacauga, Alabama, where he had a stint of 4 years, becoming the first family member since that company was formed in the 1800s outside of the Comer family to hold the job of president in that company. He later became chairman of the board after 2 years as president, and Avondale was named Model Mill of the Year in his tenure there. They became very profitable and had a good run. From Avondale, a guy named David Murdoch, the Cannon Mills, came calling. They had the opportunity to run $1 billion company, and that was the goal of his, to run a nice-sized company. And his tenure at Cannon was short. It was a year and a half. One reason it was short is Murdoch had every intention of selling the company when he brought Dad in. But there was one major problem. They had a union campaign going on. It's Act 2. It was the largest union campaign in the Southeast up until that time. And Cannon defeated the union with about 65% of the vote and 35%. That increased the value of Cannon about 45%. Whit Stevens looked like he was going to buy it for J.P. Stevens, and he came Hillcrest in to kind of sweep it away from Stevens' company. Dad was offered to run the Cannon division with Hillcrest Cannon, and he told him that he appreciated it. Murdoch had given him a 5-year contract. He honored the 5-year contract. Dad left to pursue buying Granite Company with Victor Posner in Miami, Florida. Mr. Posner informed Dad that Granite Mill was not for sale. He didn't need to be an owner of a textile company. He said, I can make you a wealthy man, and you won't have the issues and problems, and you just get down there and run that company. Get up there and run that company, and you won't have to worry about all the ownership issues. Dad was dismayed. He had a group ready to buy it. He went back home for about 3 or 4 months. He was working on some other opportunities, and Posner called him back and said, listen, I want you to run this company. I'll do whatever you need. I'll give it to you, but we want you to run Granite. Over that 10 to 12 year period, when he was hired to be president and CEO of Granite, they were losing $18 million a year before, $500,000 a month, over $1.5 million a month. Within the next year, they made $23 million profit. Within his 10 or 12 year reign there, over 6 years, were over $30 million profit. A couple were over $40 million profit. It was a prosperous times at Granite. and that's where he had his most success. Since then, he went on to be a consultant with Spartan Mills, Montgomery family, and Roger Milliken hired him to do some consulting on the finishing end of Milliken Company. And from there, he finished his career buying Southern Weaving Company, and they made a nice profit out of that in a couple of years, and that's basically when he retired. He bought the company that I'm with in 2006. People said, Doug, you've got to be crazy buying a textile company when everything's going south in textiles. One reason we were appealing to him is we're a commission finisher. I have 3 million yards on site at any given time, and I don't own any of those yards. All I do is process cloth. So he said that's what attracted him. But he still didn't know we were going to be in for hard times in 07 and 08. And what took place was some very difficult times. Like I said earlier, I was joking, but I wasn't. We've had our obituary written a few times. That obituary could be written again tomorrow morning, or it could be written hopefully when I retire 7 or 8 years from now. But we're a small company. We've got about 32 employees. We finish about 12 million yards, 12 to 14 million yards annually. Most of what we do is sheeting for the textile industry. That goes into hospitality trades like Marriott's, goes into institutional sheeting like prisons and hospitals. 3 to 4 years ago, about 90% of what we did was imported cloth. Today, that number is about 65%. Converters are putting more American goods into our plant. So we appreciate people like Alice Mills, Hamrick, Inman, and those that our converters are buying from to start processing goods in the USA. And we've had a good run the last couple of years. At this time, I'd like to mention just a few attributes that I think Dad passed along to me and a lot of his management team. He was considered a coach in every job he did. The video I was going to show would show his Clemson career where baseball was instrumental. The baseball stadium was named after Dad at Clemson. And in 1954, he had 10 home runs and 77 at-bats. That's a home run at every 7.7 at-bats. Would be in the top 3 today if anybody's ever played at Clemson, but in their media book, they only measured if you got 100 bats, but they only played so many games back then. That was an ACC and a Clemson record that stood until 1964, 10 years later, when they were playing about 10 to 12 more games a year than they did in 1954. So still a great accomplishment. But everything he relates to is back to his baseball career as a coach. And when he would, being called coach. When I took the job in Trine, I didn't know it at first. But I didn't have people come up and ask me how Mr. Kingsmore was doing. They asked me how Coach was doing. First, I didn't know what they were talking about. But he was a coach in every position he ever had, whether been in the personnel or whatever. He led a team, and he was a great motivator. That's the reason for the success he had at all 3 of the companies that I just mentioned. In his motivational skills, he thought anything was possible. If you look like for a guy that ascended from a balloon cleaner to a personnel manager to a CEO, it's a pretty spectacular story. You don't see a lot of people in that progression. Not many CEOs come from personnel. But he considered personnel and HR natural. And through his career, he surrounded himself with very successful people. One of the things he thought was the most important thing was always have great people under you. He was an education, industrial management major at Clemson. He wasn't a genius in an intellectual sense coming from an education background. But he was a genius in his judgment of people and how to make people perform at a very high level. And that was the reason he ascended to every job I told you about. He entrusted his people, he took care of them, they worked hard and they played hard. He wanted them to get out on the golf course, to go to outings. So he was an extreme motivator. He was very much a part of being a part of the community a plant or company was in. And Trine, Georgia, listen, I grew up there. There's not a lot to do in Trine, Georgia, believe me. The closest thing we had was Rome, Georgia, and Chattanooga for any really exciting things to do. See, he had a lot of key management things that would come, managers would come in and interview and say, I'm Doug, if I can live in Rome or Chattanooga, I'm not going to live in Trine. He would move on to the next county. He was a strong believer of living within the shadow of the smokestacks, to be involved in the church, in the community, to be where the people that are in your plant see you be involved. Now, some of his later jobs, he wasn't able to do that as much. But that planted the foundation for its success. It didn't matter whether it was Rotary Club, Lions Club, STA, GTMA, SCMA. He wanted people working for him to be on the front row, to be proud of what they were doing, to be involved in these organizations. That's the reason he's so proud of what we're doing, what this group has become. Community involvement was important to him. He started the Little League baseball program in Johnson, South Carolina. He started the Regal Rifle softball team in Tryon, but after he started it, he won 7 industrial state championships and went on placed in the top 5 of 3 national championships. As I said, his ascension was uncommon. But I challenge each and every one of you today to be people, be people persons. You're going to hear a speech by Coach Sweeney tomorrow. And I know we don't have all Clemson fans in here, but I hope all of you will attend. It's much more about building a winning culture than it is about Clemson football. Coach Sweeney, I don't want to steal all of his thunder, but talked about all the noise that surrounds outside of the program. What are the preseason rankings? What are people saying? Why would you take a 2-star instead of a 4-star? What did you see in this guy when we can only get in 15 recruits? And he basically summed it up this way. Everything they're doing at Clemson today is building from the inside out. It's building from the player's perspective. Look at your players. Motivate your players. If those players are motivated, then all those external noise things, if you're going to sit there and dwell on how important it is to be great customer service, well, if you're taking care of your employees, they're going to be stewards of great customer service. Build from the inside out. The football complex, a lot of things that people on the outside make fun of, everything is about the players and building it from the inside out at Clemson. And I think his track record over 8 or 9 years shows that he's doing things a lot of high quality, high standards, and more than anything, high character and integrity. So, I would ask all of you that can try to stay for that tomorrow, because I think you'll get a lot out of Coach Sweeney's comments. Dad, we love you. Your family loves you. Thank you for what you've allowed us to achieve. Thank you. As far as STA is concerned, we are family. A special family. You heard George talk earlier about it. In good times and in bad times, we're there for each other. It's been a great year for me. I've enjoyed being the leader of this organization. I've enjoyed the camaraderie that comes with being the leader of this organization. It's a special group. I think it's a premier group in the textile industry today. It's ascended today. It's always been special, but it is the group. There's still other groups out there. But the people make it special. We watch each other's families grow up. We watch each other's children grow up. This is a family reunion. And my family, it's funny, Brittany said last night, I said, Dad, you've been coming this for 11 years. I'm seeing all these young people. Why haven't we been invited? Well, anybody that's got 20 to 23-year-olds knows why they wasn't invited. They're always going to better offer. Gave them a chance to have parties at the house when Susie and I were out. But they're tickled to be here. So, from my family, immediate family, the SDA family, I'm honored, I'm humbled. Thank you very much. I would like at this time to call up Ed Cox from the nominating committee.
chairman of the nominating committee, and after consideration and review of the possible candidates for officers of the Southern Textile Association, the nominating committee recommends chairman of the Board of Governors, Mike Kingsmore, president, Carson Copeland, first vice president, Andrew Barker, second vice president, Matt Shannon. Also, Rick Carpenter yesterday was elected by the Board of Governors to become the member at large to serve on the executive committee. Also, our recommendation for Board of Governors serving a one-year term expiring in 2018 is Josh Glen. Josh, would you stand? You're here. Okay. For a two-year term expiring in 2019, Palmer Black. Palmer in the room. Okay. For a three-year term expiring in 2020, Lee Brown, Vance Tiller, then for a four-year term expiring in 2021, Steve Adams, Brad Dutton, Vincino Marzolini, Brian Moore, Mike Strader, and Robert Wood. I'll turn it back over to Mike. He's going to ask for that.
I would like to call for a motion to elect the aforementioned by acclamation and proceed to the following. Do I have a motion? Have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We're good. Congratulations, guys. I'd like to congratulate Andrew Barker on being elected first vice president. I'd like to congratulate Matt Shannon on being the newly elected second vice president. I'd like to introduce Rick Carpenter, who was elected Saturday afternoon by the Board of Governors as a new member at large. Is Rick around? There he is. Thank you, Rick. Look forward to your leadership in the organization, what you've already done. I'd like to call Carson Copeland to the podium and congratulate him on being elected president. And turn the gavel over to him. Carson's moment, but Lotus Weavers has a jewel in him. He will do well with this organization. He's done well by the organization, and I couldn't be turning it over to anybody any better. And Carson, it's all yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I certainly appreciate the kind remarks, and I'm honored to be a part of this organization, and certainly want to do everything that I can to service the members of this organization, and certainly try to improve the organization. I'll touch on that just in a second. But first, thank you for your remarks. They're very appropriate on a Father's Day, and I know your father would be very proud of you for what you've accomplished this last year. And we may have a little technical difficulty here because my glasses were broken last night, but the service award is presented to Mike Kingsmore of Palmetto Finishing. In grateful recognition of this distinguished service as President of the Association, July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2017. So with that, I'll be very brief, and I think you'll see that I'll always try to do that. There's been a lot of talk about Dabo Sweeney and the great job that he's done at Clemson, and I wouldn't state as many of you have, but my son sent me the speech that Dabo gave at the White House. And I don't know how many people have seen it or heard it and heard the remarks, but it was outstanding. The thing that he touched on was worry about the smaller things and make an uncommon effort on common matters and you'll be successful. And I thought, wow, that is really great and almost pretty good for someone from Clemson. I was impressed. But I look back and I go, gosh, the people that have been able to do those things. I look at Devin, the work that you've done in supporting our organization and giving us the publicity. Lillian, the work that you do, look, she's doing the work and we're talking and her lips aren't moving. She's the one that's doing everything, and if you ever look at a survey, she gets outstanding credit for the job that she does, so I thank her for what she does for our organization. What we're going to try to do is loud and clear from our leadership, from George Abbott and others, from the Board of Governors. We've got to continue to show the respect and learn from members that have a great deal of experience. Jim Chestnut spoke at a previous meeting and we've heard that. That was a great presentation. And we learned from people. We learned Mike, from your fathers and others that have performed so admirably in the service of the STA as well as this industry. The other thing is promoting new members. We talked about what we're going to do with when we have meetings in Clemson and North Carolina State and how to recruit students. But also, I think new members, new young members. And George Abbott, that's where you've walked the walk. You have brought in new people time and time again, but in your organization, you make sure that you have a lot of members here from Inman Mills. And so I hope we are able to do the same thing. Marvin, you brought your son Grant and as a new member, and I love seeing a new face. And the challenge to all of us is, my gosh, why not bring them here? They're going to learn. They're going to have a great time. And so let's promote that idea and see what membership we can gain over this next year. So I hope to continue in that line. And so with that, I'm going to call Mike Kingsmore and Todd Wemyss up to join us on the podium.
Todd, we have a special gift for you for your service. I never knew you meant Macon Todd. That's pretty good. Macon Todd Wemyss, in recognition of his many years of distinguished service to the Southern Textile Association. This gavel is presented as a symbol of a lifetime membership on the Board of Governors. This, the 17th day of June 2017, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Todd, you've done an outstanding job. I know this group's very proud of you. Thank you very much for your service.
All right, got my sheet. So I'd like to adjourn this meeting at this time. We have the 9 o'clock meeting. I think it's in Ballroom J. That's just across the way where we'll have our next meeting. So thank you very much for your attention. Have a great day.